Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, for the most exciting series of Formula Racing you can find on the internet. This is round 9 of the IFL 3, and we are here at Watkins Glen, halfway through our American tour. What an incredible season it's looking like so far. I don't think I can contain myself after the ridiculous round that we had last race at Canada, Alex.
Oh my goodness, that was quite the race. We had last lap heroics by Matt Turner taking a win. Cristiano Schegetman running out of fuel. Weston Epps making a debut back in the IFL after being gone for about a half a season. It was an eventful race for sure.
It was, yeah. Don't want to hang around too much in last weekend, but it was just such a spectacular. I can't help but mention it. And my brain is still... I think obviously these guys are in the race as well, so it'll be very much in their heads as well that the last time they came to enter some details into the IFL 3 book, that was what happened. As we see the 60-minute practice session come to a close there with Cristiano Schegetman sat at the top of practice from Caitlin Height. I just had my board disappear there, which was incredibly helpful. As we go into our qualifying session for 25 minutes.
Yep, and we're going to take a look at the track state here to see what our guys are driving on, guys and girl. So it's a little small on there. We got to adjust that in the future. But 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a little toasty out there with the track temperature being 98 degrees Fahrenheit. That'll make the track a little bit greasy, and these guys will be sliding around just the slightest bit. It will...
Partly cloudy there.
Yeah, it'll
not
be
much cloud in the sky either.
Partly cloudy, so yeah, that sun's going to be beating down on the track, making it hot. I expect it to get a little bit cooler at the end of the race once the sun starts getting towards that horizon, but for the beginning, these racers are going to be sliding around.
And we have this incredible phase where the tyres are just horrible when they're cold, aren't they, on this car? They're not too bad on the F2, but the F3 really suffers with it. And obviously, when you've got a hot track, you get that horrible hot track with no grip, plus cold tyres with no grip. It's a really dice with death. And obviously, the last race, we had four safety cars. So if we have any safety cars this race, and the old tyres, a couple of laps getting cool there, that will definitely play a part. As we see a few of these drivers... starting to dance around some out laps now, getting their heat into the tyres, as I was just talking about, as we move into the first couple of minutes of this qualifying session. I'm super excited tonight. I hope everybody else that's watching this is as well.
Yep.
This is the most... Carry on.
Yep, I was going to say, we have Rob coming across the line for his first... Oh, wow, somebody hit the wall really hard behind him.
Oh, excellent. Who was that?
That's going to be some debris in the way of qualifying. But we have Rob. He's going to be our first one to cross the line with a full lap. He's on his hot lap now.
Let's not forget that on the qualifying sessions, it doesn't matter on the practice sessions, but if you cross any white lines and go over any iRacing track limits, it will disqualify your lap and not count it to obviously the race tally. So if we see any drivers, I mean, we had it a little bit last season, didn't we, where drivers were cutting corners and edging out exits and things like that, and then when it came to the qualifying session, their pace would significantly drop. It's not been too bad this season, but what a fast track Watkins Glen is, isn't there? There's hardly any slow corners. It's just all about full-on commitment and knowing your corner signs, isn't it? Yep. Your late exit for this corner, late entry for this corner, or whatever the corner requires. You've got to make sure you're getting your science right, because you will just lose so much time driving on the limit, but with the wrong shaped corner.
Yep, exactly. You gotta hit your corners perfect, because the other drivers are going to be going
long. They're so long, aren't they? They don't have an apex. They are all so medium or high speed corners, aren't they? They pick an apex and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Many options into a corner like that. When you get a sharp peak and an obvious turning point, you can just get the speed killed, hit the inside curb and bounce out to the exit curb. But when it's long and swooping like this, it's hard to know. There's many options available, and obviously when you're fighting on a track like this, there's so many opportunities to overtake because of all those varied lines. As we see Rob Slater, again, as you were right, with the first time lap of a 140.7. A couple other drivers coming over the line, but no time's going up. Oh, Schartz are there with a 140.8 and Boggs with a 141.1. So Rob Slater there on a
whoa. Looks like we
turn
have
one.
Sharks are
That
there.
now. Yep, that's something we're going to be looking for in the race there. The exit to turn one, the limits are very, very, very loose there with regards to track limits. So they will let you drive all the way out on that exit curb. But with this F3 car, especially as you go over that, the weight transition, as you go through turn one, it dips over the other side of that white line. And obviously it's a different camber. You go from a cambered surface to an anti-cambered surface. So it just loosens up the car. And then there's a bit of grass right after that. So if you don't bring it back on the track quick enough, you're on that grass and it snaps back, and Corey Sharps is the first victim in the wall. It's quite a common mistake. Especially as you're pushing, you want to push for that, the extra bit of speed, and it lets you go out there. So you're coaxed out there anyway to gain that extra time. And then he goes, snaps you with that bit of grass.
Yep,
Shegetman there. Oh yeah, we've had a set a bit of place there. We've got Shegetman with the 139.6 and Stathis just 3/10 behind that. Things are getting saucy.
Height comes across the line for her first lap, going up into second.
And Western Epps there with the purple middle sector, looking good on his second race back. He wasn't quite there in quali on the last race, but in the race he made up for it.
Weston first from Cristiano. Lots of time to go. Lots of time to go, but good pace there.
We still probably only just grabbing some lap times now where these tyres are up to temperature. And with this session as well, if you're going to spin around the track like this one with all these long corners and just go lap after lap after lap and push, you're going to push these tyres over the edge straight away. So you're going to have 1 or 2 laps of building up to it, 1 or 2 laps of optimal grip, and then 1 or 2 laps where you've pushed them so hard, the track's now so hot, it's cooked your tyres. So, and then of course you're going to have a crash. So it's about getting that window perfect. As we see Cristiano with a lot of purple sectors there, we're going to see him come over the line. How much of a margin is that going to give him for provisional pole there? Sticks his lap over the line. And that puts him... He must have had an X on it.
He must have, he must have gone off, like you were saying before. You go outside those white lines, you have a little bit of it off, and that little extra speed you have just goes out the window.
And if it doesn't throw you off the track, it's going back to what we were talking about earlier, them all being medium to high speed corners. If you do have a moment or a mistake or a slight understeer or a little snatch or oversteer, it doesn't happen at 50 miles an hour. It happens at 130, and you're in the middle of a corner leaning on the wing, and all of a sudden the car's jerked up sideways, not making sense, and you get a big flick back. As we see Height there with a very close lap to Epps there. I feel we still got some improvements to come from these guys. The tyres still coming in, but Epps there with another fastest lap, putting out the boundaries for another 4/10. Wow, he's looking really racy today, Weston.
Yep, yeah, he is coming back with a vengeance back into the league, as we had said last year.
Stuff.
He was in the league for a short time and coming back strong this year. And
good to see some. We've had some crazy momentum over this season, haven't we? I mean, as we started, we had some Michael Morbeto and Alex Gutenek and Cristiano Shegetman dueling it out for the first 2 or 3 rounds, and a little bit of nose pokery from Kokorianis there in the yellow car, and then all of a sudden the momentum swung to Katie and Stathis, and all of a sudden we had Morbeto missed a few races, didn't we? And Gutenek missed a few races, so the momentum swung straight to those two, with Shegetman still trying to hang in there. And now it's flipped again. I mean, you just see those same guys. Look, Kokorianis and Height in third and Shegetman in fourth. It's those same faces, but another new entry, second race, bringing heat to the leading pace. It's great stuff. It really is.
Yep, they're really pushing each other, and each week you can see these drivers get faster and faster. And the biggest thing is that with all the competition, these guys are just improving each week, and I can't wait to see next year when they move on up to the F2s.
Yeah, as a league. I mean, I know I participated in this very league last season that you and me both did. We did the F3 before we moved up to the F2. And the way I was driving the car at the start of the season, I thought it was a great car. It was a nippy little machine. You get to grips with it quite quickly, but towards the end of the season, the last few rounds, I really started to come in with this extra sense where you could just predict slightly the car's body language, and I could just start to get the edge in braking zones in ways that I'd never have done at the beginning of the season. Steering with the brakes and trail braking, just doing things that you'd only do if you really, really knew the car. And these guys are getting closer and closer to that. As you notice, the guys that were off pace at the beginning of the season climb their way up.
Yep, closing that gap.
Yeah, it's definitely. It was bigger last season, wasn't it? I mean, that as we see Turner there right down the back, that's an unusual scenario. I feel he probably hasn't had a decent lap yet. But he won his last race winner, and he's currently sat the last timed classification on the grid. Let's hope it doesn't stay there. Alex Gutenek, Eric Beddoes, and David Tremblay still to set a time lap.
Yeah, he shouldn't have any trouble getting up and at least into the midfield. Matt is a really quick driver, as we saw last week, and he's very consistent, which helped him out even more last week. Along with a good strategy and a good risk that paid off for him. Pitting early. Ooh, and Caitlin Height goes across the line and takes the pole. Takes the pole from.
That's a bagpipe, that, isn't it? Ooh, that is a very small margin.
Yep, and that's probably why. You see right in front of her, you got two other cars that are breaking that big wall of wind. And she's
you're talking about the right thing here. Yeah, who have we got here? We have got, is that Epps drafting on the back of Stathis? No, that is, I feel like there's already some fighting going on here. I'll give you the draft, and he's like, no, I won't.
That is Gutenek, and behind him is Stathis Koprianis. And then Caitlin Height behind them, who are fighting.
Behind them. Now, if I know these guys well, Gutenek's looking for the advantage there and will have gained some time on this very lap, which is obviously a qualifying session. So I know Stathis was just trying to put him off there, move him off the optimal line and remove any advantage that he's had from the draft there. But Caitlin, let's see if her getting the draft there. I don't think so, because this is not any personal best. So it just looks like this traffic is just costing all of them massively. None of them are setting any decent personal best sectors, are they?
Yep, and you can see Gutenek, with his first couple sectors there were okay, but same with Caitlin, but they're just not purple. You want to see purple at this point, and they're coming up on the halfway point of qualifying. So, some of these drivers will go ahead and do a 2-run or 3-run or 4-run plan for qualifying. Just to get those tires worn in and broken in and up to temp. Same with running your fuel down, so it really depends on how much fuel you put in and how much time you want to spend running them out.
I do think tires will be a thing today, especially as they've got a slightly hotter track, as we were talking about earlier on in the session. You will see, especially again, as we see Matt Turner go up to P4 there, so it was just a disparity of a decent clean lap there. The long corners like this will inevitably shred the tyres. We haven't seen tyre degradation become a real issue for these F3 guys, but they will certainly experience it today. I know they're only out there for 28 laps, but every single corner they go round is long.
Yep, it's a long, fast corner.
Yeah. So I mean, if it were me today, it would be the only thing I'd be thinking about is probably smacking my pit stop. Obviously, these drivers have to take a mandatory pit for fuel and tyres. I'd smack my pit stop right in the middle of the race. To put equal wear on each stint, as it were. But I mean, obviously these guys know this better than I did. I did go out earlier on to get myself a little bit of bearings tonight for the stream. I did go out earlier on in the F3 car in one of their practice sessions just to get some sort of idea of pace and gear shifting. And as Caitlin, I think, is gonna improve on her time even more as we see her come through the last two corners here.
She's got that purple sector there.
Yeah, over the finish line now with a 2.5 tenths advantage over. Yeah, Gutenek's bashing in a 140.2. They're struggling with 1.6 deficit on the leader. That's a bit of a time gap there.
Yep, and you can see Gutenek is trying to catch back up to Height. But those little maneuvers, those little fighting maneuvers, letting each other by, you know, it throws you off a tiny bit. And Stath is coming up behind Gutnick right now. Gutnick is going to feel the pressure of Stathis. That might mess his lap up a bit. Kokoranis might slow down a tiny bit just because, you know, Alex is in front of him. He's trying to get around him, obviously. So it's a wall in front of him that he's trying to get around. He might also be letting off, so then he can get a good draft coming down the back straight and a good draft coming down the front straight.
Get the gap right. I mean, this circuit, again, because it's so many long corners, I mean, as you're seeing now, already right now, I can tell you from those two cars being so close that he's losing time.
Yep, and Stathis is racing. Stathis right now is racing.
Yep, putting it into full perspective, with a fully three-tiered system, I mean, you could see him getting loads of time. There you go, look, as he springboards past him now, but none of his sectors are... I mean, he's got a green middle sector, but I still don't think he's going to improve on his time. Let's see if he gets a clean lap now behind Katie. I think she won't be there to hold him back because she's slightly faster if she's on a push lap anyway. But putting it into a bit of perspective, with a proper tiered system, F1, F2, F3, this is the lowest powered and lowest speed, lowest downforce generating car that we have, although it does present all of those challenges in the race. The draft is nothing like what you would get with the F2 or even the F1. The dirty air that you'll experience in the middle of the corner is also less, but it's not to say they won't experience it. So I think with these drivers now trying to chase a draft, I think it's not helping anyone. Because you initially get that 2 or 3 tenths up the back straight. The minute you hit that turn 4, so long, and you lose all that air right where you need it, and then round the next corner, and then round the next corner, and you think each time that you're gaining speed because you're behind the guy, but you're just scrubbing your front tyres massively in every single corner. And I think the best thing today would to just be get a clear bit of track, get your lap down. That seems to be working for Katie. She's not trying to draft anyone. She's just on her own, hanging around the track, slapping in mid 138s.
Yep, and we got Victor Ribeiro and Luke Smith both. It looked like they were trying to team draft a bit, which that can be beneficial if you do some team drafting, because normally one guy will sacrifice. Slide off from Danny O'Keefe, but normally one driver will sacrifice their lap and pull off to the side and get out of the way of.
I thought when you saw that, Caitlin with the two purple sectors there. Yep. Not that this is super session changing because she's already got pole, but as Shigerman goes 0.001. Oh, that's so close. But she's got 2 purple sectors. She goes over the line. Can she improve? Nah.
Nope. Close,
very close, but yeah,
does not improve. And like you saw, Shigerman is right there behind her.
I'm in this. I'm already fully up to my neck in this session, and we've got 16 minutes already gone. About 8 minutes to go. And we're that 0.001. That is absolutely close. 1/1000th of a second. That's just absolutely nothing. If that's what separates the grid today, oh dear. I would love to see those laps back to back because from their driving styles, they do actually drive quite different. As we see Weston with a personal best second sector and a purple middle sector as we chase round to the back to see where he brings that car. Is it? No, it isn't. 138.8, couple of 3 tenths off there for Weston. As he rejoins the
Shigerman coming across again now. See if he improves at all. Didn't look like it.
If he stays second, that'll be the most frustrating thing in the world. You know that you missed out on pole by essentially a piece of paper.
Yeah, the margin that you miss out on is not much, especially when you're going this fast.
We had a freak session in the F2 at Long Beach where I got pole. I'm not even sure how. Tied with Steve Grabowski, as we see Shigerman getting a tasty little draft there coming around the back section. So I reckon maybe if he can improve on this lap, Rory Collins is personal best. Oh, as we see a spinner winner dinner round the back. One of them pink cars, I think it was Shartzer with all that lost air we were talking about, but I can't remember about lots of things, wind.
Well, while we're talking here and come to the almost to the end point with about 7 minutes left of qualifying, let's take a look at the driver standings. And Lewis, go
Collins
over
up to 15th. Yep.
go over just what we're looking at here.
Okay, provisional pole. Caitlin Height, which I really can't call that provisional pole, although she's right at the top. That is a very, very, very small margin back there to Christiana Schegerman in second. Western Epps there in third with just about 2.5 tenths back from that leading pace there. Statis Kokodorianis there sat in provisionally 4th place with just over half a second off of the lead pace there. Turner sat just behind that, 6 tenths off. 8 tenths, Buddy Boggs in 6th place. Matt Turner's teammate, Matt Steltflug in 7th place. As we see Schegerman steal the lead with a very, very small margin of 0.011. It is tight out there. I'm shocked. We're talking a 5.4 kilometre track and they're separated by nanoseconds.
Wow. What a qualifying session. We're not even up to the race yet.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, this just means I had my predictions coming into this race as we see another, I think, Jackson Carr going off into turn 1 again. Not a good session for that man. We are looking at an incredible race here, and I had my reserves coming in. I thought, you know, you have your own predictions on who you think is going to do well, and so far, not true.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we saw Caitlin Height this week putting down some really good times and just blowing away the competition, but that was practice. That was practice all week, and that's another story as compared to the qualifying session. You know, conditions are going to be a tiny bit different from the practices to the qualifying. Not a ton, but enough that can make a difference if you have your setup a certain way, or, you know, your downforce tweaked in a little bit less downforce to go for more speed, or more downforce to take those corners. And you can see Schegerman right now getting up behind Gutnick.
A really hard balance, as I was just going to mention off the back of what you were talking about, the balance in the setup there. It's the most difficult track on the calendar to set up downforce, because it tricks you. You think with all the high speed, you think you don't need downforce. You think because you're going fast all the time and you've got your foot on the throttle all the time, you think you don't need any downforce, when actually it's the downforce that enables you to do that. So if you start trimming off downforce, you think you're going faster, you're not, you're just losing time.
Right.
It's easy hard.
And right, we see Schegerman here again, you know, racing essentially, just like Stathis. He's trying to get around Gutnick, but, you know, like you said, that draft isn't going to do tons for you. And
it's not. You need to lose it. You need to get it coming around. Oh, this is a 3 wide anyway. This is crazy. Everyone's going to be. There's no way that no one's going to be gaining time from this.
Nope.
If you want to, yeah, this is. I would expect better from both of these, really. If I was either one of those drivers, I'd have just backed out by now.
Yep, you give some space. There's plenty of space behind them. There's plenty of space in front.
Cristiano. Yeah. I'm just hearing a little bit of noise coming over the radio now, as you would well predict. Both drivers were on that.
Yep, and when you have that kind of fight, and neither of them, and this is the nature of race car drivers, neither of them are going to give up their spot. They don't want to give up. Alex says, I'm here first. And Schegerman says, hey, I'm faster, move out of the way. So neither of them want to give up their spot. You can see Cristiano Schegerman now backing off a bit, giving some space, getting some good speed coming around the last couple corners. So then he has plenty of room in front of him and behind him to put down his lap. And normally,
yeah, as we see some tension there.
Gutnick
I feel like
off anyway.
Yeah, that was definitely born. That was born out of frustration for sure. I heard some noise over the radio between obviously those two, as they were beating each other's draft out the way, trying to get their laps in, and no less than 2 corners later, one of them's in the wall. So I feel like tensions are getting higher as we run with just less than 2 minutes left to get these laps down, boys. If there's going to be a change to position, now's the time to do it. I'm excited, Alex. There's only a few minutes left before we're going to get round 9 underway, and round 8 was just an absolute masterclass for all of them.
Yep, I can't wait to see what happens this week.
Yeah,
I really can't.
We've got a good bit of run off into turn 1 there, so if things get a bit dicey, they've got a bit of option to take that wide exit and just keep yourself out of trouble.
Yep.
You have to fight another day. But The trickery comes when you go up through turn 2 and turn 3. When you go up that hill, it's a little bit like Spa actually, except there's walls everywhere. So if you do make a mistake or somebody does spin off, or what usually happens is a couple of cars touch and they just bounce off the walls like pinball machines, and then everyone's just like, bah, 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 bah. I've seen it happen a lot at Watkins Glen. I've actually been involved with a couple of those myself, where there was just absolutely nowhere to go.
Yep.
You come round to the top of the crest and you think, here we go for the right-hander, and there's just 3 cars in the middle of the track. There's nothing you can do. So hopefully we get through turn 2 and turn 3 all right, because it opens back up after that. As soon as you go up the track straight, you get normal gravel traps and normal runoffs, and it all gets normal again.
Yep, looks like Luke Smith improves his time, moves up a tiny bit. Goes up
Looking
to
really,
10.
really racy today.
Follow a couple of these guys, and we got Caitlin Height behind Rob Slider. And
beautiful day in New York.
we have about 20 seconds left for these couple drivers here to get across the line. I don't think Caitlin Height or Rob Slater will. Since they have a little bit of track to go.
That's a well-earned pole position there by Shegetman. If that sticks, and that's what we've got rolling on for this session, and I really do believe, because no driver is setting purples. As we see the clock run down to 0, so any drivers that are on their laps will be given a chance to complete it. Any drivers that have just started a lap will be given a chance to complete it, and then come into the pits. So a couple of minutes on this session left, but timing wise, we've had to come to a still, and I think Caitlin's in the pit now, so she'd be the only person that could have challenged that. So I think we have Cristiano Shegetman on pole position. Very well done, because he was just off the other side of pole position, wasn't he, with a 0.01, and then he's just gone the other side of it by 0.011. So it was, there must, I mean, even the difference between those 2 laps, if you put Cristiano's 2 laps, the one before that wasn't good enough and the one that was good enough, they would be hardly extinguishable from the either. They'd be so close together, and one of them's pole and one of them isn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'd also like to see that.
These drivers are going to be, and how close they will be. Ooh, we have a spin out coming across the line for Buddy Boggs.
Ooh, it's
We got Jackson Carr coming across for his last time.
You've really got to be taking the absolute Michael to spin into the last corner, because it means that you've come out so wide, you've taken whole heaps of curb so much that you run onto the little bit of grass after that, and there's a level discrepancy, so the grass level is actually lower, so it just sucks your car straight into the barrier.
Gutnick is the last one to come across the line, along with Weston Epps, and he will jump up to 12th from 13th, so he moves up 1 spot. But while these guys do their warm-up, we are going to jump to the drivers' standings and take a look at that.
And I will go through them. Yeah, look at this. Cristiano Shegetman there with a nice little lead. He's had a bigger lead at certain points, and Caitlin, I think the last race moved her up to 2nd, didn't it? So I think she was 3rd or 4th. Stathis was 3rd, but the calamity of the last race moved him down. Matt Turner's win, I think, projected him from 6th or something all the way up to P3. So that was good.
And you can see all these drivers are so close in the standings.
Yeah, from midfield, isn't it? From about 4th back. Yeah, 4th to about 8th. It's just real tight, isn't it? And then it's like its own little tight gaggle again, isn't it? From 8th down to sort of 16th. It's really, and this is the 9th round of 18, so we have 10 after this to go. Still lots and lots and lots of points to divvy out as we move to the warm-up session, but I couldn't read that. I wouldn't be able to tell you from looking at that driver standings who I think is going to win. Each week we go to a track and you think one of them is going to dominate, and they don't. No one's got momentum, have they? No.
I mean, Shegetman, as we saw last week, very, very fast, but runs out of gas. Matt Turner pushing for his team and trying to get the CUDA Works guys up into a good position and improve on their times. Caitlin Height running on her own, essentially, so she doesn't really have a team, but she's running for this standings. This is it for her driver standings, and she is, 1 win and the fastest lap away from Cristiano right now. So it's a big jump. And if Cristiano doesn't get second in that instance, then, you know, it could all shift.
Though. Yep, they're unpredictable. The Canadian Grand Prix last week could have finished very differently, couldn't it? There was lots of little variable moments that if they didn't happen, the crash between Shegerman and Kokorianis, and Shegerman somehow getting all the way back up there again and having it taken away from him with the field. Do you know what I mean? So he could have had a larger margin than he did. Status could have won, and he'd have had more points than Matt Turner, who obviously wouldn't have had that nice 27 I think he got from the last race. I think he got the fastest lap, and he got
fastest.
And he got clean race as well.
Yep, and then here in the iFormula League, we do a extra point for cleanest race, fewest incidents, and Matt was clean as can be. So let's take a look at the
flawless win. Yeah.
Yep. Let's take a look at the constructors.
Obviously, bearing in mind what we said about Caitlin's team having only one driver, I think it's incredible that she's in P3. I don't think she has much of a chance at the constructors title this year, but incredible being up there. Incredible.
Yep, and we got Lumos sitting up in first, turning point.
So look at all these points, they're tight as well, aren't they? All the team fights are just as tight as the drivers' fights.
Yep, I mean, if you think about it, you can go ahead and get upwards of 40 points, per race if you can pull off a 1-2, 1-3, something like that. And those top 5 are all within striking distance of each other, and sixth place isn't even out of it because we're only halfway through the season. You never know what can happen. Schedules can clash. With actual race schedules, you can have guys that can't show up, racing equipment fail.
Michael had a this is the thing as well. Lumos have had look at the difference between the I think Turning Point were in the lead, weren't they? But obviously Corey hasn't quite been able to perform as well and consistently as whoever the 2 drivers that turn up for Lumos. And although Cristiano's got a healthy lead there, it's not enough for the title standings. But we could have a new driver turn up next week that wins every single race between now and the end of the season and beats everybody. Do you know what I mean? There's so many points left on the table that is a possibility still.
It is a long season, so these drivers just keep plugging away and keep it up, and it's a long season. But let's hop on back to the action here.
As we look at just over 1 minute left to go before we grid up, guys. I'm excited.
So I'm going to want to give a shout out once again to our sponsors, Butt Kicker, Majors Garage, Designed LTD, and automotonews.gr, the Greek version. And I want to say thank you to all of them for providing us with some great sponsorships, some great partnerships with everybody, some great prizes that we'll be able to get out of all this. So thank you to all of our sponsors, and I can't wait. We're 30 seconds away here.
It's a monster of a league, this. And if you haven't joined and you haven't partaken in one of these races, do it. Do it.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Even if you guys are, a beginner, just want to get into it, just want to start racing, love open wheel cars, been iRacing a little bit.
I mean, that's our real ambition, isn't it? To get drivers in that look at a series, F1, F2, F3, get intimidated, join in the F3, have a good old time in the F3, naturally move up to the F2, naturally move up to the F1, and you just get better, don't you? As a driver, you just go through a season with the F3 or 2, F up, F2, F1, you're going to get better. You're going to get a lot better.
Yep.
As we've already seen some of these drivers take on great improvements. This is it. We are at the 60-second mark, gridding up. Yep, baby, let's do this.
We are here, gridding up.
Watkins Glen, round 9, mid-US Tour, Season 2, IFL 3. It's going to be an absolute amazing race. If you're not here, you're at the wrong place in the world. Oh man, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good. We have got just less than 30 seconds to go before lights out. I'm pumped, and they will be too. Who's more pumped, them or me?
I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell.
I know. No, it's nerve-wracking being in the car. You know this. When you're actually sat there on the grid, and you get that moment once a week, and and you put all that pressure in that time, and then more practice and more pressure comes, and you get so edgy. It's good stuff. As we see, we've just got 5 seconds to go here. I will take us into this Watkins Glen.
Here we go. Ooh, we have a little bit of a jump.
2, 3, 4, 5, and we're out. Let's go, baby. Clean getaway from everyone. We got a bit of a tardy start there from Rob Slater up the back. Let's see what happens at turn 1. Shegerman's got the inside, Caitlin's got the outside. Everybody seems to be through clean so far. All good, all good. Turn 1 was a success. As we see, Stathis on the outside there of Epps already getting passed into turn 1. Caitlin on for the lead already. She's looking with this big draft taken to the outside. We've got so many things going on now, it's hard to keep track of it all, but we've got Caitlin on the outside going up into turn 4 for the lead of the race already. 3 wide behind. We've got Matt Turner. Oh, and a crash off already. We've got Stathis into the wall. Contact. Oh, absolutely major. Absolutely major. No.
Oh, and another incident.
Absolutely major. It was a huge crash. Very high speed there as we see the safety car out. I am not surprised. That was mega. Really high speed. That.
2 incidents happened in there.
You'll have to fill me in on the second one, Alex, there. I was so focused on the insane state of that car. I hit the wall very hard there. We have to have a replay of the second one. That was, we got a couple of laps now to catch up on what happened. Ooh, 3 wide there. We just see this. I don't know whether it was Stathis or somebody squeezed somebody. 3 into 1 didn't go, baby. Very tough to measure when there's 3 drivers. It's so hard to whoever you are in that fight, it's so hard to keep tabs of 2 other drivers. And he's just, I think he just thinks he's clear. Look, he just thinks he's clear and he's not. I'd say that was on Stathis there. Oh, tough.
Yeah, he just comes down onto Weston Epps and going
and
around
I think
that corner.
It's
just so.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Jeez, man.
Well, these guys do have one fast repair. And
he'll have to wait for the tow. This is going to be a race now for Stathis. So the race for Stathis Kokodoyanis, he's got a tow back to the pit. That'll be at least 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute 40, something like that. Instant repair, as you say, and he'll have to quickly scamper out and rejoin the back of the pack. Hopefully he won't lose a lap.
I think it was.
And what was the second one? What was the second one?
Matthew Stelplug, maybe? Ooh.
Oh!
You had Gutnick. Ooh, upside down.
The most. Gee! Oh my God! That's a skateboard trick in an F3 car.
The question's going to be how much damage does he have?
A lot. That's rolled.
Yep,
and then look, there it is. Look, cram into the wall. That's going to be undrivable. Gee, yeah, whoa! Matt involved in a second incident there. So what happened there as well? How did he get caught up in that? We've got to get a replay from like a blimp or something. You know, oh, crazy. What? Oh, my. Oh, right, this was a lot worse than I thought. Oh, man. What? Oh, whoa. We have to go back a little bit, but that was... Whoa. I feel like maybe... I thought that might happen. From the contact on Stathis, I felt like Epps maybe understeered through turn 4. And he's tacked the back of Matt. I'm sure. Here we go, look. Yeah, understeer. And Matt also thinks he's clear. Or that, yeah, see, that one, I'd say that one was on Epps because Matt was actually in front on that occasion. Oh, man.
Oh, man, look at
this is crazy.
The cars just flying by. O'Keefe into the
I mean, there's nothing. Any of them could do passengers, all of them. There's nothing you can do about any of this. Lucky to the men that got through. That's just crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in the pit. 6 cars in the pit on lap 1. Buddy Boggs, Alex Gutnick, Stathis Kokodoyanis, Matt Turner, Danny Danny O'Keefe and Stuart Gibbons. What the heck? As we see Gibbons and Gutnick get out the pit first. Oh, they've got out of the pit. Cars just coming down the pit road now. So if anyone wants to get out on the lead lap and catch back up, it's now. Matt Turner is standing away. The guys are still on the lead lap. Incredible. They're all going to get back out on the lead lap. All apart from
who's going to stay?
Oh, Danny O'Keefe's going to get...
Boggs is still in the pits. Can he get to the... No.
Is it Boggs? It's Boggs. It's Boggs. It's Boggs. I think it's Boggs. What's going to happen? He's going to end up so far. He's going to end up a lap down. Those other guys are going to get that opportunity to take that lap back and actually run now at full speed and catch the back of the pack.
Boggs and Trumbley are both in the pits.
Yeah, but Trumbley was on the lead lap. Trumbley came in off the back of this pap, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so the only one that's down off of the lead lap right now is Buddy Boggs. The rest of them got their faster pair.
Trumbley's come in on a red. The pit lane would have been closed when he came in, so he would be instructed to go to the back of the pack. But he'll already be at the back of the pack anyway. So
yep,
no worries. Oh man, what on earth? But yes, those guys. Yeah, look, these guys should just be peeling off now. Just get back round. I mean, they've got to be careful because they're going to be at full racing speed, and obviously when you're at that sort of speed in a funny old situation like this, it's very easy to crash.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The race is neutralised. You're not really racing, except go! Get around and I mean, bless. A race for of redemption for these guys as we see Weston join up as well, coming around the back. Let's see where these guys are. Have they got up the hill yet? Yeah, they're just coming into turn 4 now. Is the safety car lights off?
Weston's still in the number 3 spot, so I don't think he pit. I'm not sure that he knows that he has a little bit of front wing damage.
It will have a huge chunk of damage. I mean, he's got 2. It will just go backwards. He will just go backwards, especially on a downforce light. You need all the front end you can get, and if he doesn't get the run up the straight, I mean, you lose straight line speed as well, don't you? You don't just lose corner speed; you lose the whole package.
Yeah, I mean, you can see his front wing there on his left side, damaged up.
Definitely broken.
So he probably does not know.
I'm not sure if he's aware of just how bad that's going to be when he gets back up to racing. And way too early for pits on fuel and stuff like that yet. Do you know what I mean? So if he was going to make that decision, he'd have had to have done it. Maybe he'll do it at the end of this, when the pit goes green. I know I never pitted when the pits were closed.
Yeah, never. You never do that, because then you might as well go park it on the side of the track.
That's it.
Because when you pit, you know, it shoots you to the back of the line, and I believe you do get a penalty as well. And we have Cristiano up in second, trying to keep these tires warm, along with Caitlin Height, and you can see up in front of her there. I think the lights are another.
Yeah, they'll have another at least. I mean, the lights are still on the safety car, so if they go out this lap, they've still got another. Pretty much a whole lap to catch up, and the guys are just they're well within rounds. Stathis and that are just joining the back of the pack now. Excellent. More racing to come. More racing to come. Those guys were I mean, in a real racing scenario, that'd have been them over, because I reckon that'd have been Stathis with a trip to the medical room. That was such a hard hit. That was such a hard hit. He couldn't have gone off going any faster. He hadn't hit the brakes yet. And they were going absolutely flat out at the fastest part of the race circuit. You couldn't have had a faster crash.
Yeah, that's literally the fastest spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think he thought he was past. Whatever radar system or crew chief or whatever. I mean, it's difficult anyway, because if you do have a crew chief on, he goes a bit crazy when you're 3 wide. He just says you're 3 wide. You know what I mean? And it says clear left or clear right. It's a bit difficult to get the instruction when there's 3 of you there. It does matter driver upon driver. And obviously, you know, some of these guys are running VR, some of them aren't, and the setups vary massively, don't they?
Yep. Yeah,
some can see a lot more than others.
Yep. Yeah, you never know. You never know what the other guy's running setup-wise. You have some guys that are running, you know, a 22-inch monitor, and that's it. And you have some that have a 49-inch curved high def, you know, 144 hertz monitor that they're running, and some run in VR, basic VRs, and some run in, you know, the highest end VR that money can buy. And it's just crazy that you have that much of a variance, and you still have this tight a racing.
9 minutes.
It's almost like racing in a Merc as compared to racing in a Haas.
Yeah. I mean, that we need to keep our eye on Epps because we know he's got damage.
Yep.
I feel like he's gonna get mugged straight away coming down the back straight. Is the light out on the safety car? The light is out on the safety car, so we are racing at the end of this lap. As we know, Caitlin Height knows all too well how to control the lead, the start of a safety car restart. She knows what to do with that one. So, but what we want is these guys to. I mean, they got caught out last time, didn't they? Do you remember with the 4 safety cars at Canada?
Mm-hmm.
One of those restarts, they were so far apart when it triggered. The gaps were massive. That I feel like not all of them were ready to bolt, and by the time they got into turn 1, there was a couple of 2 or 3 seconds.
Yep, and that's what you'll see in these. What
happened to Smith there? That was crazy. Nothing happened to Smith there. I think Smith is in the wall.
Did he disconnect?
I don't know. But I saw him on the grass.
Let's take a quick look.
Oh no! So we've had a Luke Smith netcode. I think I saw it too. We've had a netcode issue with Luke Smith, and he's flown across the track and tacked Shegertman. I think we need to check Shegertman's car for damage. That'd be awful, wouldn't it? Absolutely nothing. As we see Caitlin back the pack up.
And she's going to have the green flag.
Yep, the drivers are getting a good old chat on, and I can't hear Katie, so I feel like she's just getting her head back into race winning mode. She needs this race because I feel like if she beats Shegertman today by a good margin, as she's gone already!
Yep, there she goes.
Gone already. She's bolted right at the beginning of the back straight. As we already see, I think where Smith has got a glitch issue already. No, he's coming to the pits. Oh, damn! Smith's going to lose every single place. As we've already got Matt Turner and Stathis. Rob Slater going into the first corner. Rob on the outside, Matt on the inside, looking good. And now Matt is side by side. No, this is Stelpflug. Of course it's Stelpflug. Because Matt Turner is down the back. As we see, Shegertman advancing for the lead up the back straight. He's done it. The draft is just too strong, isn't it? But what can she do coming into this corner?
Yep,
Nothing. He's got an incredible jump, isn't he?
Yep, Caitlin Height will be able to combat it in a lap or two when she gets that
inside of Epps again. That's looking tight. No, this is Stathis and Gutenek. Sorry, hard to tell. There we go. Just monitoring a little bit about what's going on. We've got an incredible fight going on here. That's the one.
Too wide right there.
Yeah, this is all I think. Oh! Whoa!
Oh,
no! Again! No. No. Had it happen again.
What happened this time? We were watching the battle for...
as we see the safety car out again for that one. It's the walls, isn't it? Although Glen is fast, it's covered in walls. There's no space to dissipate, is there? As soon as you smack the walls, you come straight back in. What the hell happened there?
Well, let's find out. We're trying to go back and...
Oh man, there's cars everywhere again. It's always 50, isn't it? Damn! Look at this. It's like seen. Oh my god. Look at this. Everything's okay. What happens? How did?
Let's manually rewind and see what happened here.
Oh! No way!
That might have been some driver error there.
No way! Katie understeers with the cold tyres.
Touches the grass.
No way! This is the only error I think we've seen from her the whole season, other than the going wide at the turn 1 at Long Beach. And she's going to eat the wall hard here. Yeah!
And the rest of the pack is just right behind her.
Here comes the repercussion. But she's right on the other side of the track, so I'm still struggling as to see what is actually going to happen.
Somebody's off in the back there, too.
Already gone off. But I think that Oh no, that's just a wide line. No, it is a spinner already. One of the BE cars is spinning.
Oh.
I don't understand. So there's a car in the middle of the track there at the exit. Yeah. Oh, so it was this. So Caitlin's spin was actually nothing to do with anybody else's.
Yeah, Eric Meadows was the one that
tagged everybody out. Yeah. Okay. I thought she was just naturally seeing her go into the corner. Is that Stathis again? It is. How did Stathis get tagged up in that? Bad, rotten luck there for Stathis. I think he caught up in the Beddoes situation. I think he was behind all that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was back there right behind.
Oh, jeez.
Eric Beddoes.
Jeez Louise.
And here we go. They go.
Here we go with the drivers.
Oh, that's what happened. They went too wide, and he went shallow
into the wall. And then he comes back on, and no! Oh no! Unbelievable. I mean, that's. Oh, jeez Christ. Okay, so that's 2 safety cars already, not back to back essentially, because we did have a little bit of racing in between them. But just to bring you up to speed with what we've got going on right now, we've got Cristiano Schegertman from a Western Epps, which I assume he's still got a bit of damage on that car because I don't think he had any real chance to deal with that. Corey Schartzer in 3rd, incredibly. Victor Ribeiro in 4th. Rob Sliter keeping his nose clean in 5th. Steltflug having a clean race in 6th. Jackson Carr with his highest running position so far in P7. Steve Bunting, I believe, just in front of all that mess with his teammate there, avoided all that. Nick Marshall, again, looking racy in P9. Again, keeping himself out of all of the mess. He must have gone past it all. Collins there. Yep, that's just correct.
You can see Trombley.
I apologise for the vulgar nature of the images that we're seeing on the stream tonight, guys. This is just absolute
again.
Carnage.
These guys are just having a really rough go.
There's a lot of laps left. There's just over 20 laps left. And we've got some real out-of-place drivers now. We've got Height. I mean, Height's got a fast repair. Kokoroyanis hasn't got a fast repair. Gutenecht has. And, there's a couple of drivers that this is their second trip to the pits in the name of fix.
Right, and you can see Stathis Kokoroyanis' wheel just to the left, trying to keep him going straight. And he's struggling there. Wow, some crazy crazy racing.
His rear tire just popped off. Insane.
It looks like Gutenecht has retired, maybe. I think he's trying to get back on the track, but
he'll have to have that toe, won't he?
Yep, he's going to be getting repaired here.
What's going on here then? What's going on here then at the back of the grid? Okay, so he'll have to wait, won't he? If he'd have come into the pits there, I mean, let's have a look if the lights are out on the safety car. Are they out? Are they in? Are they out?
They're still going, it looks like.
Still going. So he's got this lap and the next lap to
actually, maybe not.
Catch back up. Let's have a look. I'll go right, zoom in onto the top. No, they're still on. So we've got a situation where if Stathis' crew members can fix that car quick enough within this lap, he'll be able to come out and do what he did again and go all the way to the back of the grid and catch up and live to fight a third day. Cockadoodle thrice, said the sir with the broken car. As we see a Alex Gutenecht come out the pit lane with, I'm assuming, a fixed car. Is Stathis away yet? No. As we are sat there with a stationary car. Stationary car. He's got a long time to go yet. So we'll just run you down the positions to see how this race is going to develop. Schegertman has now got the lead of this race, so he can control it the way he wants, provided he doesn't make any key mistakes like Caitlin there. Thomas in a very good second position, which is where he obviously finished the last race. Corey Schartzer in 3rd, Victor Ribeiro in 4th, Rob Sliter again keeping his nose clean in 5th, Matt Steltflug in 6th, Jackson Carr in 7th, Steve Bunting 8th, Marshall in 9th, and Collins in 10th. Now, we went through those a little while ago, so obviously we see Turner there with his luck at the beginning of the race. He's managed to just push his way up to just the back of the points there, so he'll be at least in a decent position to try and advance through this grid come the restart of the race. Gibbons there, just a couple of positions away from his teammate, so on the verge of a double points finish for those guys as well. Danny O'Keefe there in 14th. I mean, I know he had some, he was involved with the incident. Was he involved in the incident at the start of the race?
I believe he...
I think he was involved with that.
He was in that first incident.
Yeah, so he's managed to get... I mean, it looks like all those guys at the back, O'Keefe, Trumbley, Boggs, Height, Smith, Beddoes, and... Well, Smith we know didn't have any damage. Oh, no, the pack is going past, and Stathis is still in the pits.
Very unfortunate.
So I think...
For Stathis Kokourianis, and it looks like...
that's him off the lead lap. I mean, that's him virtually out of being able to fight for anything in this race now. As we see Caitlin jump into the pits there as well. She was already at the back of the grid, so she will now be right at the back of the grid. So she has got all the work in the world to do, as we still haven't seen Stathis' car move.
So I want to point something out. I think Alex Gutnick is trying to stay on the lead lap by going in, getting some repairs under the first green, and then he pulled around right as the safety car was coming out, pulled around, flew around the track, got back into the pit lane, and then did repairs again. He's sitting in the pit lane again, getting repairs.
He's sitting in the pit lane with no rear wheel.
So
I don't know what happened or whether he had another accident, but he has got a lot of his car missing. A lot of his car missing. He's got the back section of his car missing. He's got the rear wheel. His engine cover's gone. Everything is. I think he is DNF, that boy. I think that's one of those too much damage to carry on, and he's already used his fast repair. Either that or he's waiting for the tow, but I think we missed a trick there. We may have missed a trick there. As we go back...
He's officially looks like he is out.
Well now. Yeah, well and out of this race. Our first DNF. As we see Stathis there, coming out of the pit lane.
And he will be one lap down. Trying to catch up to the pack and hoping that some craziness happens to try and get him around this whole pack. The one thing he won't have to do is potentially pit.
Yeah, I think we're well into the realms of fuel. Wow, 8 of 28. That's actually not as far into the race as I thought. It's always longer when you've got two safety cars. We're already 22 minutes into this race already. And we've only seen 8 laps of racing. Well, no, we've seen a few corners of racing.
Yeah, we've only seen about one full lap of green. And that's about it. Because we've got tons of stuff going on, caution-wise, people sliding off, big incidents.
As we see Stathis there, I think he's had a wave around from the stewards to rejoin, but he's only going to be... I mean, he might even get caught by these guys. He's only going to be a smidge ahead.
Right, and from the looks of it, it looked like he was...
minutes down. I mean, he might even be another lap down on that. 6 minutes and 30. Yeah, I think he is 2 laps down.
Cristiano right now holding up.
Backing right.
The field.
And now he's gone.
Really
he's gone. And he's weaving. He's trying to break the toe from Weston there. See what Weston can get done. This is Schegeman's, I feel, to lose now. We're already fighting in the back. Katie already going up the inside there. Nope, that was Jackson car, sorry, same coloured car. This is going to be interesting because we need to keep our eye on the back as well as the front. Schegeman's gone, Corey Schatz is too wide in the top. As we go through the chute there, oh, a couple of drivers very, 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 very close there. Very close, as we're 3 wide. And I think Weston's backing out of that one because that was insane. Yeah, he's dropped all the way down to 5th there. I think he's just realised how much damage he's got. Do you remember we said about that? So he's lost already 3 positions going up that back straight. I think he's just about to realise just how mouled his car is.
Yep,
as we see, Roy on the outside there, Victor Ribeiro. This is a great race for Rob. He's going up the field. He's got the inside line now coming into turn 7. Oh, epic stuff there as we see Caitlin also taking one of the BE cars. I'm assuming that is Eric. Steve's a little bit further up the road there. Oh, moves everywhere.
Wow.
Moves everywhere. We still got Victor and Rob fighting there as we see. Oh, he's got 2 off in the background there. I don't think we've got damage, just a bit of contact. That's Matt Turner and Buddy Boggs. Really, really, really unlucky as they both rejoin the track there. I don't think a safety car needed for that one. Nope, as we see the stewards okay that.
Wow, we got a lot going on. A lot going on here on the track.
Cristiano running away with it, 2.3 seconds in 1 lap. Incredible confidence on cold tyres for that man there.
Yep, and you got to think maybe there might be a little bit of team effort here. Corey Schartzer, his teammate, right behind him, and
they're in the position to do that now. They've got that 1-2 status, and you can very well play these tricks. And if you're not getting overtaken, you can make yourself fast on the right parts of the circuit. That's exactly what you can do. But I feel like he's about to get raced very, very, very hard here. We're seeing it already. He's going to go 3 wide again, isn't it? Rob there going into the middle. This is going to be insane. We got a 3 wide situation going into turn 4. Who's going to come out on top? Rob thinking better of it. Ooh, 3 wide on the way round as we see contact. Oh, Victor in the wall. Victor in the wall. No. Can anybody get round him? Rob's going to surely have a little bit of damage from that moment of contact. I'm not sure whose fault it was. We'll have to decide later, but that was unfortunate for Victor there. He'll have a sizable bit of damage there. Caitlin already up to 9th place, making no mess of this field. Incredible, incredible stuff. As we see Victor there just losing another position there.
Look at this train of cars. They are staying right on top of each other.
Right, tight, isn't it? The field's tight today. Cristiano just burying it, 3.1. Corey playing a great team game here.
We're looking back on positions 16, and you can still see Corey Schartzer up in the distance making his turn.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Who have we got fighting? We've got a very, very, very racy looking Nick Marshall there on the back of no, that is O'Keefe. No, Gibbons on the back of Stoutflug. I wonder if we see that up the back straight next. But obviously straight right behind him is oh, as we see him move into turn 1 there. O'Keefe sticking it to Gibbons. Oh, Stoutflug getting fighty. Oh, but a squeeze going on there from Jackson Carr for 6th place.
I think we might have seen a tiny bit of contact there. Wow,
yeah,
these guys
very, very close.
They're not letting each other go. Look at it.
Look,
they're just
how's this going to work
here.
out? Caitlin's got to read this really well. There's cars all over the place and they're all in front of her. She's got to read this, and there's going to be lifting and coasting going on all over the place. Too much draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars involved in this now as we see Carr take the inside. And Stoutflug sticks brave and beats them all. Incredible stuff. We got teammates side by side now. O'Keefe takes the inside as Carr relinquishes the and he spins and hits his own teammate.
No.
Wow. He spins and hits his own teammate. No. No way! No way!
Let's see if we're going to have a continuation.
The fight continues. The fight continues. Oh my God! Can we get it any worse than this? You never want to see teammates tap. We saw this in the last race, didn't we, with Rob Slater and Stathis? As we see Rob Slater there. No, this is Is this an on track?
This is Stewart.
Stathis is getting lapped now. Blue flags, blue flags, blue flags. Stathis is having to let the field through. God, that's a painful moment to be inside the car, that cockpit.
Terrible, no!
No!
Weston gets tapped by Stathis.
No.
Let's see what happens.
There's 2 cars there trying to get out of the way, isn't there?
Yep, Stathis is trying to let all these cars by.
Chaos going on here. There's a bit of, you got racing drivers with drivers trying to get out of the way. We might need to catch a replay of that. I'm going to keep trying to talk our way around this fight as we see Matt Turner trying to engineer something out of his race, taking up the inside there of Boggs there. Boggs still trying to fight as we go. Oh! Whoa! No! Oh, Matt into the wall. God, this has been an absolute race, this one. This has been it's been a race again, isn't it? It's just
this is insane.
It's doing it again, isn't it? I can't work. Right. We can't cap it. We just seen Matt crash. We seen Buddy tap the inside of Matt there. That was a hard hit there for Matt. I think he saved it as well.
Rob Slider getting by Corey Schartzer for second place.
Brilliant stuff to not miss that fight there. This is really important stuff for the race now. For P2 on position this.
Rob going
Corey's
wide.
Got the speed. Keeps it well within the track. That was tight there for the exit, but Robs makes that move round the outside there. Good stuff there from the Cuda Evo driver.
We have a group of 4 coming up here.
Oh, this is nuts.
Including Steve Bunting, Nicholas Marshall, Rory Collins, and Buddy Boggs, all fighting. They're fighting for those last 2 points positions, 9 and 10.
Already spread out. Shegetman 6 seconds in the lead with a purple lap, 1:39. He surely has this in the bag. He's got to keep his head down. But this is some close fighting now between the 2 Orion Alpha guys right now. It's the draft up the hill, isn't it? It's if you can keep within proximity of that next car, you've just got it. As we see Matt Turner in the pit again with an absolutely mushed up car. And Thomas Epps not having the same luck that he had at the last race we were at. Oh man. He just can't tell who the luck's going to be there for, as we see Caitlin trying to hunt down her next victim. She's in 5th already. A little bit of way up the road there. Matt Steltflug keeping his nose clean in 4th place. As we see just ahead of that, Schartzer and Slater still fighting there. I feel like Schartzer just doesn't want to give that 2nd place up so easily.
Nope, definitely does not. And you can see he's pushing really hard to try and keep up there with his teammate. And you see that interval just growing and growing for Cristiano Shegetman up in 1st. He's just pulling away, and I think a lot of that has to do with his teammate Corey Schartzer kind of keeping the guys bunched up behind him.
On the restart, yeah, playing that team game really well, yeah. I mean, he was just keeping his car right on the right place of the racetrack. It took him a long time for Rob to work his way past, which he has now, but 7.5. As we see Rob there just take a couple of tenths out of the lead there. We have a long way to go left in this race, and still some pitting as well. Yep. As we see Jackson Carr there, obviously a 1 lap down, and Epps a 1 lap down, and Smith a 1 lap down. The guys that haven't been so lucky this race. Matt Turner still in the pit. Stathis Coccariene still in the pit. That's it. I think that's probably a DNF for Stathis. He's having some rotten luck of late. Ploughed into it the last race, and some clamming going on, getting out of the way on this race. What an incredible race we've seen so far, with just some of the gaps starting to open up now as we try to get our head on what really is happening at Watkins Glen in New York.
Yep, we have Caitlin Height here pushing up behind Matthew Stelplug.
Couple tenths there, yeah, lovely stuff. This is, it's gonna brew over the top here.
You can see one of the Orion Racing cars doing a great job back behind him to get out of the way of this battle.
Mac just putting his car in the right place there, but it's long corners, isn't it? You can only, there's no real braking zone, so if you've got 2 close drivers that are, good in the inputs in the corners, a move will only put you alongside somebody unless you blast them up the straight. A move in the corners will only put you alongside somebody. She's got an incredible run now. Is she going to dive to the inside so she thinks better of it? Has a little lift there. Had a fair bit of bad luck today already, I think.
Corey Schartzer.
No, Schartzer's upside down. Oh my god, that is already crazy. Oh, as we see another safety car.
Wow.
We can get a replay there of what happened to the inverted pink car there. I was just following on with Katie there.
Oh no, that's a driver error there. He just catches too much dirt on the exit, which turns the car around, and he just is going right into the wall.
One mistake, see, it's tense, isn't it? You get that mid-race mojo, you get into the flow of things, and obviously we get this. I feel like a bigger contributing factor to this as well. Corey hasn't been up the front end of this grid a lot this season, so I feel like the pressure's not really been there for him to hold station in a great position. And obviously he just lost that position to Rob, and rightfully so. He kept it. They both held it nice and cleanly. and Scharzer was really pushing there to try and keep up with Rob, and that's exactly when mistakes happen, isn't it?
Yep, yeah, he's trying to push. He's,
pressure
probably,
on up in third place. Yeah.
Probably braking a tiny bit later to try and, keep that speed up.
I mean, they had the potential for a double podium there.
Yep, and you can see him pushing up, and his car just gets a little bit too wide, too much speed, accelerating a little early. And
committed to it. In the wall you go, baby. Oh, no. And shh. Up she goes. Like, oh, look, see? No halo. And the camera went black. Awesome. But anyway, third safety car for these guys. We had quite a bit of racing in between the second and the third one.
Yep. Let's do a quick recap here and see what happened. There were a couple instances. Looks like we had Weston Epps that had gone off. He was trying to drive. And you see, he's just driving sideways. He's trying to keep it straight. Can't, driving sideways, just up along the edge there, and he just decides to retire it. Going back, we had the Matt Turner crash here. These guys just have so much damage. They're trying to just get back into the race. These guys don't want to give up. They don't want to quit. And he has no nose cone, and he just decides, hey, I'm just gonna retire it. What else did we have going on? We had
incredible. I'm just trying to regather my brain for yeah.
I believe this was during one of the big fights here.
Insanity. Absolutely madness.
This was Weston. Again, trying to get by. I believe Stuart Gibbons. You see his front wing is just wobbling there from that first incident. He's just going by. Ooh!
Oh,
that's what happened to Weston there. Let's see what happened, because he takes flight. Just goes right off the track.
What happened to
You see his front wing just hanging on, and ooh.
Oh no, I definitely think that was
was that Stathis?
I would say, yeah, that was Stathis on the inside.
Lap car?
I think he was a little bit driven into there. If you look at the grey line in the middle of the track and you track the trajectory of the car,
yeah, it looks like Weston's driving down onto him a little bit.
Yeah, look, he's creeping in, and the gap gets smaller and smaller. Look, and he creeps in again. Look, and look, big creeping. Stathis is holding his line. No, I would say that was definitely a Weston situation. As if Stathis's race couldn't get any worse.
Well, let's hop back live and.
Unbelievable. Let's try to catch up, Alex. Let's try to catch up with what's going on.
All right, so right now, somehow, amazingly, we have Cristiano Schegetman up in first, which is pretty much expected. We got Caitlin Height in second, making her way back up from her incident earlier. And we also have Eric Beddoes in third, his best ever standing position in the IFL so far. David Trumbley in fourth. Victor Ribeiro in fifth. Buddy Boggs in sixth. Dan O'Keefe in seventh. Stuart Gibbons in eighth. Rob Slater in ninth. Matthew Stelplug in 10th. Steve Bunting in 11th. Rory Collins in 12th. Nick Marshall in 13th. And Corey Schartz are catching back up to the field right now in 14th. And he seems to be on the main lap.
Yeah, so, I think he's just catching up, and I think Jackson's just catching up as well.
Jackson Carr right behind them as well. So those are all of our drivers on the main lap. We still have Matt Turner technically sitting in the pits and Stathis Koprianis sitting in the pits.
Matt's out on the back of the pack, and he is now making his way. He's just passed the safety car on the wave around. Just passed the safety car on the wave around, and he's on the way. I mean, I don't know how far he's going to get because the safety car, I don't know how many laps the safety car's got left of, whether it's coming in on this one. We had a lot to catch up on. That was, again, a little pretty crazy mid-race set there.
And Stathis
Where a few incidents all at once.
Stathis Kokoryanis at the back of the
Back
pack,
the
2
track.
laps down. But
Yep.
you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, we've seen some crazy events happening in this race so far. But we will see. We'll see how this plays out. Matt Turner making his way around, and he's back in the pits. Oh, he might have had a drive-through penalty. And we have Cristiano leading the pack right here. At this point, we're gonna have to have the pace car take a pit stop and fuel up.
Yeah, he'll run out of fuel in a minute. Right, Jackson's back up with the pack. Corey's on the back of the pack. I feel bad for Corey because it was just you always kick yourself the hardest when you're when it's your mistake.
Yep. Yeah.
When it's your moment that causes your own accident, that's the worst. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Yep. And it's happened to Corey Scharzer. It's happened to Caitlin Height. It's happened to a couple of these guys where the incidents are just their own. Obviously, a lot of coming together on some of these.
Safety car lights off. Safety car lights off. I did just notice there as we looked as the guy whipped past there. So we're going racing in just a couple corners time.
Yep. This being our 3rd safety car, that means we have had. This will be 12 laps of our race under the safety car out of our 17 so far, which is crazy to say, but those 5 laps so far have been just
Hard start, isn't it? Yeah. It's it's been it's almost as eventful as Canada last week, but I mean Canada was just insane. There was absolutely no momentum to the Canadian Grand Prix, was there? Every 30 seconds there was somebody crashing. It was just like whenever we tried to get racing, it was just it was impossible, wasn't it? And then it was in different corners, different ends of the grid. It was guys up the front, guys up the back, guys in the middle, teammates. It was just absolutely everything you could possibly think of happened every single time we went racing. And I don't think today's been quite as bad. I mean, we didn't have that safety car until a lap and a half round, did we, on the first one? They didn't all crash into turn 1. Lap 1 was pretty good. We had a couple laps in between that and the second one. We've had 5-6 laps in between that and the third one. Still a heavy race for these guys. Still a heavy race. It's going to be a difficult rest of the way from here on out. We've still got just over 10 laps to go. I mean, obviously we're going to have those full 10 laps, lap 18 to lap 28. A little sprint race here for these guys. Shegertman's still holding the lead there. Obviously, at a point, he had a 7.5 second lead. So these safety cars are exactly what he doesn't want. And
right.
Height's managed to get right back up to second.
Yep, Height in second.
Oh my God! Game on again, isn't it?
Beddoes' pace is about a mid-pack pace, so Beddoes is probably going to have some pressure behind him, and we haven't seen him drive in a podium position before, so we don't know what to expect from Beddoes.
Definitely.
Who knows? Maybe this will bring the best out in Eric Beddoes, but yeah, we'll see how it goes for him. But I think with Cristiano Shegertman's and Caitlin Height's pace that they might just pull away from the rest of the pack unless something else happens on the road. But pace car coming in now.
I think, yeah. Here we go. Oh, big backup. Oh, some of the drivers already caught there. We may be seeing maybe a potential black flag or two there automatically from iRacing as we see a couple cars. That was big. That was already, I expect. Already crazy 3 wide. This is crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen, as we see it 3 wide coming around into turn 2. This is going to be difficult for everybody. Don't forget the cold tyres. It's 3 wide. Beddoes is going to hunt down these front 2. This is crazy for Beddoes as they're side by side just behind them. As Stelpflug's trying to make good of this. Beddoes looking for these 2. He's never been that close to the lead before. As we see Slater back up to 4th. Incredible stuff! Oh!
2 off.
Bob's there.
Off the
into
track.
the side of Gibbons. Incredible stuff there. That's those 2 wiped out as the rest of the field plough past. Really, I mean, to have that all the way late into the race and we're still racing, ladies and gentlemen. The safety car is not out. as we see Cristiano in the lead, but not exactly running away with this. He's just half a second behind now, Caitlin. Beddoes settling for third there. Rob Slighter in fourth. As fifth, we see Victor Ribeiro. His fortunes favouring today. David Trumbley in sixth. Schartzer back up to seventh. Steltflog in eighth. O'Keefe in ninth. Turner in 11th. Incredibly, Jackson Carr in 12th. Backing out. He was right up the front there. Collins in 13th. Marshall in 14th. And Cocoronius that one lap down.
No! Oh no!
Oh, again! This is just... it's just another one of those...
what happened then.
Safety car lights, come on again.
I'm not sure what happened there to Victor Ribeiro. We're gonna take a look, but there. I think just coming onto the home straight, he loses his back end, and
it's in these big
let's see, we're gonna jump back and see the Buddy Boggs incident coming down the short straight.
Sensing some tension from the drivers. You would be, wouldn't you, after this amount of stuff there? As I didn't actually see, I was looking at another fight when that happened. You always seem to catch the crash. I don't catch.
You see
a little bit of curb from Nick.
Yep, you saw the guys go off in front of him.
Yep, he got away with that. I think whatever it was happened round the back, didn't it? It happened onto the coming to the home straight.
You see it going off there from Matt Turner's, Gibbons and Boggs. Here we go. This is Buddy Boggs' view of it. We had Stewart.
I think understeered. Look, he just understeered straight into him. Boom! He was just caught out by the extra speed you get. Don't forget when you. I mean, it's difficult when you see these big crashes. It's easy to blame someone, but the fact of the matter is, when you're in that situation, you're very blind. You've got one car either side of you, and you. I mean, there's absolutely nothing Stewart could do here. That's a definite tag there. You get all that extra speed from the draft, and you forget. You look, if you had time to look down from the cars that are around you, you look down at the speedo, and you're going so much faster than everybody else, or than you were the previous lap.
Yep, just going down up on top of the hill.
You can see, I think he loses it a little bit trying to brake to slow down. I think he just loses a little bit and just lets off the brake to try and stabilize and just smacks into Stuart Gibbons.
Some really unlucky races out there.
All those parts and pieces like a garage sale all spread out throughout the lawn. Man.
I feel like Watkins Glen is testing these drivers' patiences. And what did we see there? We see... Oh, jeez! Damn it!
That was Victor Ribeiro.
Bits everywhere again. So many crashes. So many crashes. They'll get there.
And black flag is weird while the pits are closed or no.
You see car passes through him essentially, but he slides over to the pit wall, smacks the pit wall, and has no tires. Nothing left on his car.
Yeah, that's a great damage model on our race, and we know that they're one of the few cars on our racing that's got that brand new damage model, as you can see there. I mean, even
have anything on him.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? If you look at really the damage that's about that car, it's a great model. You get to see all the engine and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, let's see if we can catch up with what the hell is going on. I will try to bring our viewers up to what the hell is going on in this race as we see the car, the guys make their way around the back section now. The lights on the safety car are still on, so we've still got at least this lap and another lap to go. We have got a Cristiano Schegertman from a Caitlin height. Watch that space. because I feel like they're gonna they had already been fighting. Well, they were, didn't they? As soon as we had that restart, they were bang on it. So
Well, and
expect to see that again.
And Cristiano backed up that field just incredibly far, and I think we had a couple black flags probably on some of the guys behind him, because we saw that field just want to go, and we have Cristiano Schegeman coming into the pits.
Oh, how? Why? That's going to absolutely send him to the back of the grid.
I am not sure that he has.
We may have just seen him give this race away.
He is not pitted yet, and I think he's probably at the end of his life of his fuel.
See, now this, for the viewers at home, this can sometimes catch you out. So if you don't react to an earlier safety car, or if you don't play it right, like we see Luke Smith take a win playing it correctly the other week, and he didn't have especially the race pace to do it, etc. He just had great strategy call, great luck. He played the race very, very, very well, and there's good helping of luck in there as well, because you can't help these safety cars. You can't control which drivers crash, but you can choose which calls you make. And if you make the wrong call, you find a race like this full of safety cars, and Schegeman has had basically no choice or very little opportunity to pit elsewhere in the race other than under a safety car or full racing speed. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see where else he could have pitted.
Yeah, I don't think
where it was already hurt his race like this. It's going to be the exact same. He would have pitted at full speed. I don't know how that would have. You know what I mean? I think Caitlin's filled up, but Schegeman's had good luck today and kept his nose clean, and just had to pit legitimately. And others have managed to pit under damage and filled up. But that's the race. This is the races. It can go like this. So now we have, incredibly, Caitlin Hite in the lead of this race after that early race spin she had. Beddoes in second. Incredible. I believe I really am not going to be able to read that one as it goes. And Slater there in third. Incredible race for him. Trombley in fourth. Some big names. Scharzer fifth again as drivers trip and stumble over each other. Steltford keeping it solid in sixth place. Bunting in seventh. Turner eighth. Carr 9th, Collins in 10th, Marshall in 11th, O'Keefe 12th, Schegeman rejoining this race in 13th place with just about 6 laps to go. He has got his whole entire day cut out for him now, hasn't he? As we see Kokoro Giannis finally back on the lead lap there, back with all these safety cars, he's managed to get back there, but he's still right at the back of the field, as Boggs and Gibbons, I think, have also given up the ghost with Ribeiro and Smith and called it a day. So we've got Gutnecht, Epps, Smith, Ribeiro, Gibbons and Boggs now our official DNFs in this in this round 9, as we have just a couple more corners to go before we see these guys go for a green light again for the last 6 laps of this race. I hope we don't have to have another safety car, because that would be crazy.
Well, we know Eric Beddoes is normally a mid-pack runner, like we had said. David Trombley is normally that mid to high. Corey Scharzer in 5th is normally that mid to high.
We're going to get a squeeze again, aren't we? We're going to get a squeeze from Schegeman, and there's 2 of our fastest drivers at the back, and a bunch of our slowest drivers up the front. This is just going to be absolute chaos again, I predict.
Well, let's see how it goes here. She's going to have the race start.
Here we go. As we come down the back straight, we're now looking at a control situation. What is she going to... Oh, no.
Lights are still on? Lights are still on. We're getting all excited for nothing here. Oh, man.
Sorry there, guys. So sorry. That was a noobish error there, as the lights do go off on the safety car. So we know that we are now going to go green on this next lap, as just 14 of the 20 cars are now left in this race. What a race of attrition this has been. You don't win them all, and you don't all get lucky, and not everyone can be lucky the same day. Not everyone can be unlucky the same day. Tough race out there today for these guys. But I do feel like there is definitely a lot of edging going on. Do you feel like when we get these starts like now, you have a situation where a lot of these drivers, I mean, it's natural, isn't it? A lot of these drivers, especially, we'll just pick a few: Schegeman, Turner, last race winner, Kokorianis, you know, there's a couple of guys up and down that field that, and quite rightfully so, are going to grab these last few laps in the bag and really try and make their extra speed worth it. And there's going to be some guys trying for dear life to not lose the hard-earned work that they've done all the way to get to this point, lap 22 and 28. You know, that you're going to get this edging again, where you're going to get drivers, you know, it's going to get all pushy again, and everyone's looking for a move, and this is exactly what's happened all the way through this race. You know, this is exactly the point where if you had real team engineers, all of us, they would all get on the radio to their drivers and be like, calm down, no moves for 2 laps, just let the field get momentum and then start working into it. Do you know what I mean? But because there's no crew chiefs to keep them calm, they have nothing but themselves to do all of their own emotions. I don't know how I'd feel if I was Stathis. I don't know how I'd feel if I was Shegetman. It's just lead of the race, and he's right at the back.
It's sometimes just as beneficial to have a crew like that, or even these guys running teams. So even a teammate that can talk you off the cliff, and you know, say, okay, let's keep it clean, let's keep it, you know, keep a gap. You just get through the first couple laps, just make it through. Don't try and push anything, you know, to the limit until we're all stuck in, until we're all doing our thing, and then we can, you know, get going, because
like
our tires are cold. Our brakes are cold, everything's cold. We just need to, you know...
You have someone to remind you. You have someone to remind you of all those things, isn't it? And it's the slightly less skilled drivers that would just let one of those variables slip past them, and they just, for a split second, when they've got 2 cars on the outside, and then they go, oh yeah, old tyres, I forgot about that, smash. Yep. It takes so little, isn't it? One little tiny moment. As we see the guys come round here, Rob's getting really close to Steve Beddoes there. This is the best position Steve has ever been in. As we see Caitlin, I think she has decided to go.
Yep, there she goes.
She's gone. Yep, cutting the draft already. As we see the entire field take a nice little snake down to turn 1 for what I hope will be the last yellow flag of this race, as they're already fighting up the back. I said this, Shegetman and Stathis already side by side. These guys have got hefty points. You've got to keep it clean now. These last 6 laps, they've got to just get their way through the field, as Steve settles nicely behind there. We're closest fight on track is the 2 CUDA Works guys, both fighting the car in front of them. We've got Matt Turner on Corey. Matt Turner on Bunting.
We got Beddoes going on the outside of Caitlin Height. Beddoes in the lead.
Takes the lead from Caitlin Height. Is she going to send it back up the inside? She just got more confidence in the car there. And I think Rob's actually going to get a bit of a poke going into turn 2. No, I think it's looking good. It's looking good as we got one of the CUDA. Yeah, Corey was okay, but I think Eric might lose his position now to Stelpflug. Oh, Bunting. Yeah, Steve Bunting all the way down there. On the outside, keeps it nice and side by side. As we see Eric off there. I wonder if that was a spin just like earlier.
I think that was a spin just like Caitlin Heights.
Yeah, on the exit of that
exit.
We'll have to catch a replay of that in a second. But that was, oh man, I really feel for him, because he was right up there. Nerves getting the better of Eric Beddoes there, unfortunately, at this round 9 in Watkins Glen there, as Rob Slater sitting pretty in P2. Incredible. David Trumbley, best position he's ever been in, looking for incredible points there for his team. Scharzer incredibly recovering back up to P4. Stelpflug, great P5, sat just in front of his faster teammate Matt Turner in P6. Steve Bunting in P7. Jackson Carr just getting around the outside there. It's getting a bit pushy again as Shegetman tries to make his way back through the field.
Yep, Shegetman is pushing up, and he's got 4 cars around him trying to just get by somehow, but it's a wall. It's a moving wall that's in front of him.
This is getting tight. Let's see if we can talk our way through this one. We've got Bunting looking on Carr. We've got Collins getting a good draft there. O'Keefe sitting right next to Shegetman now. They're going to go side by side. There's 2. It's hard. What do you do if you're O'Keefe? You sit behind it and you wait and you watch. As we get Bunting gets the run there, and he's going to have the inside for this corner now. Oh, Oh, this is good racing. These guys keeping it clean now for the last few laps of this race. Don't want to be crashing now. They're getting closer. They're getting closer.
What a race we have.
Yeah. Jackson Carter's taking the inside there. Shegetman looking to take the opportunity. Oh, super close there from Shegetman. You don't want to be doing too much of that this end of the race, buddy. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Shegetman losing another position there, yeah. This is exactly the risk he can't be taking right at this end of the race. These guys are not going to want to give these positions up. Shegetman just looking at the outside there. See if he can make it round the outside there. Nice move. Good stuff. Nice confident on that first lap there of that, obviously with these still will what be absolutely horrible tyres. Good racing. Shegetman up to P9 as we look up the grid. Caitlin's got a 2.3 second lead. Unbelievable. Rob's keeping it good there in P2. I wonder if he can convert this into a great podium there. Trumbull's sitting nice as well. He's going to have a little bit of heat then in a minute from Scharzer and Steltflug. I feel like they've got the pace. Collins just loses a position there into turn 1 from O'Keefe. He's going to have the draft going up as we see another car coming into the pit lane. Eric Beddoes there. I think he's going to come out a lap down, isn't he? Bad day. Bad day. Really incredible on bad luck there.
Just trying to push too hard.
Lots of side-by-side action as we've got Scharzer up the front there on Trumbull for the podium spot third, and we're going to see if Steltflug can make his way past on the outside into turn 5. Not quite on this occasion,
but he has the speed coming out of the turn.
Crazy stuff there. As we see Stathis, I wonder if he's just got a bit of damage there. Not quite able to keep up the position there. Not quite able to keep the speed with the back of the pack there.
Nicholas Marshall making an overtake. I wish we had 2 screens.
Yeah.
I wish we had 2 cameras we could pop up at the same time because we got so much going on between the middle pack, the front.
Yeah, it's just leveled out. The gap's still very close though. Caitlin with a 2.9 second gap now. She's just edging away there. She's got this race, I feel now, just these last few laps under control. Height from Sliter, from Scharzer, from Trumbull, Steltflug, Turner, Carr, Shegetman, Bunting, O'Keefe, Marshall, Collins, Kokodoyanis, still struggling to keep up with the back of these guys there. Caitlin setting the pace there. As we're looking at this fight now. Oh, 2 drivers coming together there on the back straight. I think they're going to come together again into turn 1, both off. Oh, tough break there, both losing the position. This is really late on Marshall and Collins there coming together. Tough stuff there. I feel there was a bit of blocky. Too much fighting going up onto the back straight. We've got Shegetman and Carr side by side. Shegetman taking the inside line here. 2 by 2, hurrah!
Yep, and Shegetman will get by easily.
Yep, all
Keep
good.
Pushing.
And behind that, we've just got. So we've now line astern in this race. O'Keefe, Carr and O'Keefe, both in that Orion Beta car there. Great driving from both of those guys today. Seen nothing but good, clean fighting from them guys. Great additions to this IFL. 4.1 up the lead there now as we see Shegetman only up to P7. I feel like his competition is going to get harder and harder. He's only got 3 laps left to do this. As we see Carr up the inside of O'Keefe. Oh no, Keefe up the inside of O'Carr. O'Keefe up the inside of Carr. That tongue twister if I've ever heard one. O'Carr's car. Position teammates. I wonder if that was an engineered thing there. As we see Height set the fastest lap there as a 1:39.1. She will gain an extra point for that as it stands. Sliter with a 1:40.7, unable to bring that, but keeping it nice and clean there for a second place. Brilliant finish if Rob can keep it. He's got just 2 laps to go. As Steltflug is looking on the back of Trumbull now. I wonder if he can get the draft up the back of the chute here.
Yep, he's definitely going to have a lot of speed. Let's see if he can make it work at the end of the straight here. Looks like he's already got a jump.
Pulling it out already.
We got We got a bunch of Katie fans in the crowd.
Excellent. Well, this is the best race. This is the best race so far.
And what a comeback.
We've had a bit of bad luck today. She had that spin early on. If you skip back on the stream and recover If you weren't here earlier on, she had a bit of bad luck when she had that spin on cold tyres, just taking a bit too much of the grass on turn 6.
Yep.
And she's managed to recover it most expertly.
And Shegetman on the inside of Matt Turner.
Oh, these guys are they're both feisty, these guys, aren't they? Turner not wanting to give it up there, sticking on the outside, but Shegetman's got the inside now, and there's only one correct way to go around the corner. Matt just losing the ground there. Not able to stay with him to bring the fight to the next corner, which you can obviously do if you keep your car close enough. But
and Trumbull pushing up behind Stelplug again. These guys are just swapping positions.
Yep, let's see if they can revert. One coup de car winning, one coup de car losing out there as we move on to the white flag lap for Caitlin. She's only got 5.2 kilometres to go until she brings home her next win in the IFL. And Rob for an incredible podium. And Schartzer for an incredible podium. And he will actually finish above his teammate if things finish the way things are.
Shegetman still pushing here. Right up behind David Trumbull as Trumbull pushes behind Stelplug. Oh man, what a race. On the last lap.
Good stuff. As we see them side by side. Oh, Shegetman going past Trumbull there. He slipped from a potential podium position there all the way down to P6. Just pure speed there, I feel, from Shegetman. Just not quite having the pace to hang with the top guys there, Trumbull. Cracking race there for Schartzer. Bad luck early on, and he's bringing it right back into a podium shot. We haven't got that long to go left, guys. Just a couple more corners left for Caitlin. Very, very, very level head to this race. She's had a couple of bad races of late. She had bad luck at Long Beach. Coming through the field, she picked an opportunistic time to pit on the safety car, and she got bitten by traffic at Road Atlanta, and she got bitten by traffic at Long Beach, and she got bitten by her own mistake today, but she's managed to keep it clean and work the rest of the race in her favour as we see Caitlin Height round the last corner for RSR Esports and bring home the next win. Epic stuff there, and what a difficult race to do it on. Also, we have Rob Slater, incredible podium finish there, and Schartzer taken for a very, very, very contested podium. Just absolutely tiny margins there. Nobody wanted to give that up. Shegetman finally coming over the line in P5, just behind Stelpflug in P4. Matt Turner in P6, Turner in P7, ahead of Trumbull. Behind David Trumbull there. O'Keefe P8, Carr P9. Bunting P10, Marshall P11, just missing out on points there. Collins P12, Crocodile Yanis P13, Beddoes P14, and Boggs, Gibbons, Ribeiro, Smith, Epsom, Gutnick, obviously all worth a mention, are race DNFs for round 9. What a sticky race that was. Stop, start, stop, start. Hard to gain momentum on that one. Great win there from Caitlin Height. An incredible second place there from Rob Slater, and a very, very hard-earned podium there for Schartzer, being pushed all the way to the end of the last lap.
And we have Schartzer and I believe that was Cristiano Shegetman, teammates pulling side by side there, probably for a little bit of a photo op. But great race. Caitlin Height, Rob Slater, and Corey Schartzer. Wow. I wouldn't have been able to predict who was on the podium today. I think you called Caitlin
early on,
but
I thought she was over after that incident. I thought that was it out of the way, and then I also thought Shegetman wasn't going to get a decent result after that drop right back. So he's done well to fight back up to P5. Incredible stuff there. As we try and get some of these drivers in for interviews, we've got one driver waiting. If we can try and get a couple more. If we've got the right drivers. Yep, we've got Rob Slater here. We're going to stick him in the broadcasting waiting room, and we don't have a Caitlin Height.
We do not have Caitlin right now. We'll see if we can't get her, but we're going to start off with our third place and bring Corey Schartzer in. Corey Schartzer, my man, third place.
Hello, fellas. How are you guys?
Yep, you're live on stream. Please refrain from swearing. But that was mega. That was absolutely mega. We saw you have that washout, and I was head in hands. I thought that was it. and oh, dude, you got pushed all the way to the end.
Oh man, it was something else. I mean, I thought after that wreck there, I think it was like lap 22, 23, right around there. I thought I was done for, but I got a killer restart after that safety car, and I got back up to like P6 off that. And then I was like, from there on, I was just trying to keep it steady, stay clean, don't work the tires too much because they were getting real hot around the track.
Yeah, we predicted that. We did say a bit of this during the qualifying laps. We saw a rise in times as the tyres came in, and then a significant drop in times as nobody managed to improve on their times, just overcooking the tyres a lot. So, just that was another mad race, wasn't it? It must have been. Tell us what it was about. Trying to gain a bit of momentum in that race. It was just a few laps here, a few laps there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, at this track, it's just so high speed, and you don't have a whole lot of opportunity for overtaking in the corners really, just because you're going in so quick. So it was just about staying clean. I got through that first big wreck surprisingly again. It was like Canada for me again. And then after that, I was like, you know what, let's try to get some points. And then I had the wreck. And like I said, I thought I was done for there, but the safety cars actually ended up helping me. And since I took the fast repair with tires, I didn't have to pit after that.
That's it. I mean, with the most important thing is we've been talking about in the previous races. You haven't quite been there in the position or the point standings at the end of a race to represent and really back Cristiano up there for his title fight and your constructors fight.
Yeah.
And you've just pushed that right back up there. You actually finished ahead of him today. I know he had a bit of bad luck with his strategy. I'm sure you'll digest this after the race, but this is it. This is your step back towards bringing that pink car top 5 every week.
Yep. I told Cristiano, I said by the end of this year I'm going to be on that podium. And you know what? Big shout out to Cristiano. He's been helping me so much with the setups and the lines, what to take when the tires get hot, and so just a big shout out to him. I'm glad I was finally able to get some points for the team and back him up in that drivers' championship fight. Yeah.
Incredible recovery. We were also talking earlier in the race about how some of these drivers have been able to improve and really give a chance to. I mean, you've come a very long way in a very short space of time. You're relatively new to this series. You started at the beginning of this season, and just in a very short amount of time, you've moved mountains, sir. So congratulations to your first podium. Incredible stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whopping great 15 points as well. Yeah.
I was happy to be here, and then hopefully you guys will start seeing me in this booth a lot more. So
we look forward to it.
Yeah, good luck to your future races, buddy, and enjoy the champagne tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
Good luck, buddy. As we bring in Rob Sliter, our P2 finisher, I expect some excitement here. Rob, man, how are we doing? How are we feeling after that incredible P2, buddy?
Is this real?
It is. You're in the booth, and it is real
life. This is real life.
Oh man, I've definitely been trying to hold some tears back. This is definitely an emotional finish for me. To be on a podium for my first podium, but to take P2 and in front of Cristiano Schegemann, I don't know what he was thinking with that last pit stop he had there, but good golly, if Caitlin would have messed up, I could have had the win, but she was way too quick for me together. But I'll take P2 any day.
Dude, that's it. I mean, you just slowly chipped your way better and better. Each time there was a moment, each time there was a crash or somebody had a tussle or something, I look at your position and you've managed to get past it somehow. Every single time. And the positions just got better and better and better. And it was P2 in the end, baby.
Yeah, that first part of the race, I don't remember where it was, like the first few laps, I made it up to P2 and was behind Sheg, and I was like, oh, cool. And then a bunch of stuff happened, and I kind of had a bad go there with the pit stops and everything and caution cars, and I was back in like P9, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm behind this entire field. I don't even know if these guys could pit. I think they probably could have made it after lap 7, so I was like, I'm going to have to work my way through. And that restart, I gained like 4 or 5 spots, and I was just on the move. I couldn't believe what I did. And then once we finally got that last restart, I don't know where it came from, but there was just this laser focus that set in for the last 6 laps. And until I crossed that finish line, I didn't even really know what I was doing. It was crazy.
Absolute beeline. I mean, I think you jumped up. We will look at the replay when you go back and watch the stream tonight. I'm sure that you jumped from something silly like P7 to P4 in one it was like 2 sets of corners or something silly like that. You were in the middle of the standards, and then ba-dum, you were right up the front, and that really and I'm pretty sure that they had a moment behind you as well. So
Yeah, I gotta give an apology. There was one car I couldn't tell who it was. He was a black car, maybe Victor Ribeiro or Luke, maybe I don't know which one it was. But we went 3 wide there for a while, and I made the aggressive move to make it 3 wide in between. I believe it was Schartzer and this other car, and we went through a few corners 3 wide, and we just lost a little bit of room, and I think we might have made contact just a little bit. A safety car came out afterwards, and I didn't see any damage, but if I did bump into him, I want to say a big shout out and sorry to him because I really didn't mean to get into him, but I was definitely very hungry for this podium today.
Yeah, very humble, very humble. Just basking in the glory, dude. Basking in the glory. That is the best result for IFL, best result for your team. 18 points. 18 points. 18 sweet points.
I've got 22 on the season, and I just picked up 18 in one race.
Oh, incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely incredible. So you must be absolutely on cloud 9. I mean, tell us what it must have felt like reading that. I mean, it just must have been so hard to gain momentum. I mean, it's also really difficult to, like you said, to read everybody's strategy and know what's going on. People flying in and out under safety cars and damage, who's got damage, who's picked up damage on lap 12 and then filled up their car, picked up the quick repair and now can finish the race. You know what I mean? It's who has done what. It must have been so hard to read it all.
It was, and at the end there, I got by. I think I had Trumley behind me and Beddoes in front of me, and I can't believe I avoided that spin in front of me. That was a life or death moment, and I executed it perfectly, so I was really happy with that. But when I seen Corey Schartzer come into 3rd place, I believe it was Schartzer, I had to turn on my relative and be like, is that Shag or Schartzer? Because I don't know which one's coming.
He was quick today, wasn't he?
I knew if it was Shegeman, I knew he was probably going to catch me, and I might have lost P2, but I could have still had the podium. If I knew it was Schartzer, I knew if he caught me, I probably could have fought for P2 because we fought a little earlier in the race. So I kind of felt a little better when I seen it was him, but I was still pushing every ounce of everything I had to keep that spot at the end of the race because I did not want to go down without a fight. Didn't want to do it.
Well, congratulations for pushing that hard up against all of those limits around a very, very, very fast Watkins Glen there and keeping your head cool, mate. Because at the end of the day, you were rewarded with 18 points and that's it. That's your best result. You really, really have kept it together today. Absolutely sterling drive, sir. Sterling drive.
Oh, yeah. It probably won't hit me until tomorrow morning.
You'll wake up with the biggest smile, man. You'll wake up with the biggest smile. Dude, we'll let you get off and enjoy the champagne. It's going to taste sweeter than it ever did tonight.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for broadcasting the race. I knew it was going to be a barn burner halfway through, and now that I finished P2, I cannot wait to see it. So thanks for what you guys do. I want to give a big shout out to my team, CUDA. This is obviously my first top podium with CUDA. So it's been a long and hard road, but they've stuck behind me and they've been pretty awesome guys. So I appreciate it, the help. And next one, the only way it goes up. Next one to victory. Yeah.
The only thing to be better than this is a victory, isn't it? Yeah. There's only one improvement now. So, dude, hopefully this is the first of many podiums for you, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
And good luck for the rest of the season, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good to see the guys on the podium happy. I mean, this is what you get when dudes be finishing on the podium that haven't finished on the podium yet. We've had two debuts there. Corey Schartzer and Rob Slater both absolutely ecstatic there. I mean, I could definitely hear the emotion in Rob there. It just isn't it. It's just different. So you've got, you win every week or 4 or 5 wins. You start knocking them back like that. They become easier to get because you really do know how to and understand how to engineer them. But the feeling of that winning amazing feeling does slowly wear off, although they always feel good. But if you work your way from the back of the grid and you genuinely punch weight slowly over round after round after round after round of doing badly, and every weekend you walk away with your head in your hands with all that rejection and disappointment, and and we all think about the same thing. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you wake up Monday and you go, no, I'm going to be there. You have all these things, and to start to actually get these rewards, and then to just like Rob there, he's had a couple of real good results. Rob, he's had a P4 and a P5, and but they're quite far gaps between them. To just smack in a second there, and Corey to just almost believe your race is gone after making a big clumbo like that, to be sat in P3. Do you know what I mean? Like, the feeling must just be absolutely immense because you've never been there. It's incredible, isn't it? That first time, it's like your first win, you almost explode.
It's an amazing feeling, and I remember, last year, from my personal experience, last year going from, finishing midfield, crashing out, and there was just one race where everything lined up for me, and I think it was my first podium and first win at Zandvoort, and and it was just, it's a game, a simulation, whatever you want to call it. But you're racing with real people that you're talking with all week long, and there's some smack talk and some pride to be had with these.
Yeah.
It does play on the emotions when you win, and when you get
the time
these.
And the effort, isn't it? It's not just an opportunist. There's no luck. I mean, there is a healthy portion of luck. The reality of it, that's the history in the making that I like. But the time you put into practice and the time you put into the relationship that you build up with the drivers around you, and like you say, with a bit of smack talk and a bit of banter and you try to keep the community there. But at the end of the day, when you get out on track and it's gloves off and you all try to do the best to win, because that's the objective for everybody, and you just those first couple of podiums, man, they
finally pays off, and you finally get up there, and it's a great feeling. So congrats to Corey Schartzer, congrats to Rob Slider and Caitlin Height, who we did not get to have an interview with, but her fans have already started cheering her on. Go Katie, go! Woo, let's go, Katie! She did it, fastest lap. These guys are in the chat cheering her on. We got a great community here, great couple of guys out there cheering her on. So. Thank you guys
really
in the chat.
Really appreciate you guys coming along to watch the stream.
Yep, and we want to do a quick shout out to our sponsors once again. Buck Kicker, we have Design Ltd, we have Automoto News, GR, and Majors Garage, all supporting us with prizes, with donations, stuff like that we are grateful to have. Thank you guys. Thanks to all the admins that put in the hard work again every week, and thank you guys for coming out and watching. Next week, where are we at next week? We're at COTA next week. Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas, it should be a completely different challenge for these guys. They have a lot more runoff, a lot less walls, a lot more track limits to think about. I mean, it's super easy to just be on a nice lap and just mip the curb a bit too much. And times one, it's one of those circuits where it's just super easy to just abuse the limits.
Yep.
Really hard to look at. So, but and that's it. And then what's that? That's our last 2 rounds of the American leg.
We have Interlagos after that.
That's it after that.
And then after that, we are out of the Americas and over to the Asian tour. I think we start off in Suzuka.
Yeah, and we've got 3 races in Asia, and then I think we finish with 3 races back in Europe.
Yep. So.
And with that, we will bid you farewell until round 10 of the IFL 3. That was us live from New York, Watkins Glen. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.